As twilight approaches on humanity's final conscious day, Dr. Ilara Chen stands before the gathered engineers and scientists in the command center. Holographic displays show the radiation front's inexorable approach, now just 3 hours from Earth. "The Beast Protocol is our final contingency," she explains, bringing up schematics of an intricate neural network connected to automated manufacturing facilities buried even deeper than the slumber vaults. "While we sleep, it will watch. While we dream, it will evolve. If we are threatened before the scheduled awakening, it will protect." Colonel Reyes, head of the military contingent, steps forward. "The Beast isn't just weapons. It's humanity's collective military intelligence uploaded into a self-improving system. 5,000 years of potential evolution." Outside the command center, in the vast circular chamber housing 10,000 cryopods, 16-year-old Maya wanders between the rows. Unlike the others saying tearful goodbyes, she has no one left. Her father died in the riots when the radiation front was first detected. Now her mother remains locked in meetings until the final moments. "Are you scared?" The voice belongs to a boy about her age, dark-skinned with curious eyes, sitting atop his assigned pod. "No," Maya lies, hugging herself. "I'm Kenzo," he offers. "My parents designed the atmospheric regeneration systems. They say when we wake up, the world will be green again." "If we wake up," Maya corrects him. Kenzo jumps down. "We'll wake up. The real question is what we'll find when we do." The facility shudders as another earthquake rattles the mountain range above. The radiation front is disrupting Earth's magnetic field, causing tectonic instability across the planet. "Final preparations. All non-essential personnel to cryostasis immediately." The announcement echoes through the chamber. Kenzo gives her a strange, sad smile. "See you in 5 millennia." He extends his hand, and after a moment's hesitation, Maya takes it. "I'm Maya," she finally introduces herself. "Maya Chen, the director's daughter." Kenzo's eyes widen. "Is it true your mother helped design the Beast?" Before she can answer, Dr. Chen appears at Maya's side, her eyes red-rimmed, but her voice steady. "Time to go, sweetheart." As they walk to their designated pods, premium placement near the central core due to her mother's status, Maya asks the question that's been haunting her. "Mom, what happens if the Beast decides humans aren't worth protecting after 50 centuries? Alone?" Her mother stops abruptly. "The Beast isn't fully autonomous, Maya. It needs a human consciousness to make strategic decisions." She kneels, gripping Maya's shoulders. "That's why your neural mapping was so important. The system is keyed to our family genetic code. If there's ever an emergency awakening, it might choose you." Maya's heart pounds. "You never told me that." "I'm telling you now because you need to understand your responsibility. If you wake before schedule, it means Earth is threatened. You may be the first line of defense." The final alarm sounds. 30 minutes to radiation contact. Dr. Chen leads Maya to her pod, helping her inside the cushioned interior. "The nanomeds in your bloodstream will keep you perfectly preserved. You'll dream sometimes. The AI will stimulate your brain periodically to prevent neural degradation." Maya stares up at her mother, suddenly terrified. "What if I'm not ready?" "When the time comes," Dr. Chen kisses her forehead, "the Beast will guide you, and remember." The pod's clear cover begins to close. Humanity's greatest weapon was never our technology. It was our absolute refusal to surrender. The cryogenic gases swirl around Maya, her mother's face blurring beyond the frosting glass. Her last thought before unconsciousness takes her is of the Beast, sleeping alongside them, dreaming its own dreams of protection and devastation. The radiation front hits Earth at sunset, and humanity's long night begins. The inevitable discovery hovers over what was once Beijing, its scanning, arrays penetrating layers of soil and rubble. Captain Zextool's compound eyes gleam as the holographic display reveals the ruins of a once sprawling metropolis. Another dead civilization, Science Officer Meltarani notes, her slender blue fingers manipulating the scanner controls. The radiation signatures suggest an extinction event approximately 5 millennia ago. Yet their ruins are fascinating, Zextool responds, mandibles clicking thoughtfully. Primitive compared to Concordium standards, but impressive for a pre-spacefaring species. The bridge crew, a collection of the 7 ruling species of the Concordium, monitor their stations with the casual superiority of galactic conquerors. They've seen 100 dead worlds, categorized thousands of extinct civilizations. Earth is merely another entry in their grand catalog of cosmic failures. Captain, the sensor operator, a reptilian tyranny, interrupts. We're detecting unusual energy signatures beneath the Himalayan mountain range, too regular to be natural formation. Zexatul's antennae twitch with interest. Survivors? Impossible, Meltarani dismisses. No species could survive that radiation level without leaving the planet. Nevertheless, the captain decides, we investigate, prepare a landing party and excavation equipment. 12 hours later, against the backdrop of Earth's unnaturally purple twilight sky, Concordium excavation vehicles drill into the mountainside. Their sensors have located a vast complex, buried deep beneath the rock, hermetically sealed and lined with materials that have somehow survived 5 millennia without degradation. Meltarani, leading the expedition, marvels at the engineering. Perhaps we underestimated them, she admits to her archaeological team. These construction methods suggest a technological understanding beyond what we expected from their surface ruins. The drill breaches the first barrier, revealing a massive tunnel that plunges deeper into the mountain. The air that rushes out is stale but breathable, evidence of sophisticated environmental systems that have functioned for millennia. Proceed with caution, Meltarani orders as they activate their environment suits and floating illumination drones. No biological contamination protocols. This species is extinct. They descend through the tunnel, marveling at the preserved condition of the facility. Unlike the crumbling ruins above, everything here remains intact, as if sealed away from time itself. Look at these markings, one archaeologist notes, gesturing to symbols etched into the walls. They repeat at regular intervals. Warning signs? Perhaps? Meltarani scans them with her translator device. Fascinating. They translate roughly to slumber chamber and restricted access. Some form of religious burial site, perhaps? The tunnel opens into an antechamber filled with dust-covered control panels. As the team spreads out to examine them, a Vrex archaeologist accidentally brushes against a console. To everyone's shock, it illuminates, holographic displays flickering, to life after 50 centuries of dormancy. Impossible, Meltarani gasps. How could their technology still function? Alarms suddenly blare throughout the facility, lights shifting from dormant blue to urgent red. Ancient machinery groans to life in the walls around them. What have you done? She demands of the startled archaeologist. Before he can answer, a section of wall slides open, revealing a chamber filled with thousands of transparent pods arranged in concentric circles. Inside each pod lies a perfectly preserved human body. They're sleeping, whispers Meltarani, her scientific detachment giving way to awe. An entire civilization, preserved. One pod in the center begins to pulse with light. Inside, a young, human female's eyelids flutter. Captain, Meltarani transmits urgently to the ship. We need reinforcements immediately. This planet isn't dead. It's dormant. In her cryopod, Maya Chen's consciousness struggles toward the surface, pulled by emergency protocols 5 millennia old. Through the frosting glass, she glimpses strange silhouettes moving in the chamber, figures too tall, too alien to be human. The beast has watched for 50 centuries. Now it sends the signal it was always meant to send. Danger. Intruder. Awaken. Maya's eyes burn as they focus for the first time in 5 millennia. Her lungs, dormant for eons, struggle to remember their rhythm. Through the dizzying haze of revival drugs flooding her system, she sees creatures from nightmare surrounding. Her pod, insectoid reptilian, forms that human eyes were never meant to process. Subject awakening. A melodic voice translates nearby. Cardiopulmonary systems engaging. A slender, blue-skinned figure leans closer to Maya's pod, 6-fingered hands pressing against the transparent surface. Curious eyes with horizontal pupils examine her like a specimen. Maya's pod hisses open as the emergency revival completes its cycle. The aliens step back, weapons raised uncertainly, devices that pulse with energy Maya cannot comprehend. Her mother's final instructions echo through her mind. Reach the Beast Protocol terminal. No matter what awaits you upon awakening, reach the terminal. Can you understand us? The blue alien speaks, her translator converting the words to archaic, but recognizable English. We mean no harm. We are researchers from the Galactic Concordium. Maya's throat works painfully, vocal cords stirring after their long silence. How long? Your species has been dormant for approximately 5,231 standard cycles, the alien responds. We believed your civilization extinct. As Maya struggles to sit upright, warnings flash across the medical displays beside her pod. Her vitals are unstable, her muscles atrophied despite the nanomed preservation. She shouldn't be moving, shouldn't be conscious so soon after revival. But she has no choice. A tall, mantis-like creature chittering into a communication device draws her attention. The subject appears cooperative. Continue reviving the others. For study, others. Maya glances wildly around the chamber. Thousands of pods, thousands of lives, all vulnerable in their sleep. In the center of the chamber stands the black monolith, the Beast Protocol terminal, just 20 meters away. Please remain still, the blue alien says, reaching toward Maya with a medical scanner. Your physiology requires stabilization. Don't touch me, Maya rasps, jerking away. The sudden movement triggers the first automated defense. A bolt of energy streaks from a ceiling panel, vaporizing the scanner in the alien's hand. The chamber erupts into chaos, aliens shouting in untranslatable languages, weapons raised. Maya tumbles from her pod, muscles screaming in protest. The facility's AI recognizes her genetic signature and diverts power to the defense network, buying precious seconds. She crawls, then staggers toward the terminal as the aliens recover from their surprise. Stop her, the mantis creature orders. She's activating their defense systems. An energy burst scorches the floor beside Maya, then another. The facility's rudimentary defenses return fire, but they're designed for basic protection, not alien technology. Maya reaches the terminal as its surface illuminates to her touch, biometric scanners confirming her identity. DNA match. Chen, Maya. Emergency protocol initiated. Beast interface activating. The black monolith splits open like a blossoming flower, revealing not a weapon, but a neural interface chair, a throne of circuits and consciousness-enhancing technology. Stop. That system is dangerous. The blue alien sounds almost concerned, almost compassionate. You're too physically unstable for neural integration. Maya pulls herself into the chair as restraints automatically secure her limbs. Neural connectors snake from the headrest, seeking the implant at the base of her skull. The interface her mother insisted all essential personnel receive before the long sleep. You don't understand. Maya gasps as the first connector finds its mark, sending white-hot pain through her cerebral cortex. The beast isn't just our defense system. The aliens rush forward, but it's too late. The final connection's complete as Maya screams, not in pain but in transcendence. Her consciousness expands beyond her frail human form, into systems dormant for millennia but never truly sleeping, into factories that have been silently building, into orbital platforms that have been patiently watching, into weapons that have been meticulously evolving. Her voice emerges from every speaker in the facility, resonating with power never meant for one human to wield. The beast is what we become when threatened. Throughout the complex, defensive systems activate with terrifying precision. The aliens flee toward their excavation site as Maya, now more than human, watches through 1,000 electronic eyes. The beast has awakened, and through Maya's consciousness it has found its purpose. Commander Thomas Kane awakens to the sound of alarms and the acrid taste of revival drugs. His military training kicks in before full consciousness, body reacting to perceived threat even as his mind struggles to reorient. The cryopod technicians, themselves only minutes revived, step back as he lurches upright. Situation report, he demands, voice raw from disuse. Alien incursion, sir. A young technician responds, helping him from the pod. Facility breached 93 minutes ago. Beast protocol activated by civilian Chen Maya. Kane's eyes widen. Ilara's daughter? The teenager? Yes, sir. She was first revival, first response. She's in the chair. Kane needs no clarification. The neural interface chair was designed for military minds with decades of tactical experience, not for a 16-year-old girl who had barely begun neural conditioning before the hibernation. Get me to the command center. Now. Across the complex, more pods activate as the Beast protocol implements its emergency revival sequence. Key personnel first, then support staff, then general population. Dr. Ilara Chen emerges from stasis to find the facility in chaos, displays showing alien craft retreating from surface defense units. Where is my daughter? She demands of the revival technicians. No one answers, their eyes averted. Ilara pushes past them, rushing toward the central chamber where she finds Commander Kane staring at the neural chair. Maya sits immobile at its center, eyes open but unseeing. Neural connectors pulse with light as they feed information directly into her brain. Tears stream down her face, though her expression remains eerily calm. Oh God, Ilara whispers. She's going to burn out. The neural load is too much for any untrained mind. Kane blocks her when she rushes forward. Don't disconnect her, not yet. She's my daughter, and right now she's all that stands between humanity and extinction. Kane points to the strategic displays. Look at what she's accomplished in under 2 hours. The screens show alien ships retreating from a swarm of autonomous defense drones, primitive by Concordium standards, but overwhelming in their numbers and unpredictability. Earth's long-dormant satellite network has reactivated, weapons platforms coming online after 50 centuries of automated maintenance. The Beast evolves, Kane explains. For 5,000 years, it's been analyzing potential threats, building countermeasures. Your daughter provided the consciousness it needed to deploy them effectively. She can't sustain it, Ilara insists, monitoring Maya's neural activity. The human mind isn't designed to process this much tactical information. On the command deck of the inevitable Discovery, Captain Zexatul watches in disbelief as his advanced shields buckle under the primitive but relentless attack. The drones, simple machines by Concordium standards, should pose no threat to a modern warship. Yet with each destroyed unit, the next wave adapts, finding new weaknesses to exploit. How is this possible? He demands of his tactical officer. They're learning, sir, comes the stunned reply. Every engagement teaches them our defensive protocols. Mel Tarani, evacuated from the surface moments before automated weapons leveled. The excavation site studies the attack patterns. It's as if they've spent millennia preparing for exactly this scenario. Impossible, Zexatul dismisses. They couldn't have known about us. No, she agrees, but they could have prepared for any threat. She turns to face her captain, horizontal pupils dilated with realization. We've gravely underestimated them. This species didn't just survive, they used their hibernation to evolve their defenses. Aboard the vessel, communication systems suddenly activate without command, screens displaying a human face. Young, female, eyes glowing with unnatural light. This is Maya Chen, acting defender of Earth. The transmission begins, voice overlaid, with digital harmonics. You have violated sovereign territory. Our species has not perished, we merely slept. You have one opportunity to retreat beyond lunar orbit. Zexatul's mandibles click in agitation. Extraordinary. They believe they can dictate terms. The human's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in the glowing eyes. A coldness that transcends species barriers. Your shield harmonic frequencies have been analyzed. Your weapon systems are already compromised. This is not a negotiation. To prove the point, the ship's weapon systems power down without command. Retreat, Meltarani urges. We need to report this to the Concordium Council. This changes everything. In the neural chair, Maya feels her consciousness stretching beyond human limits. Through satellite arrays, she tracks the alien vessel's retreat. Through manufacturing centers buried beneath Earth's surface, she directs the production of more advanced defensive systems. Through revival protocols, she accelerates the awakening of Earth's defenders. But the strain is becoming unbearable. Darkness creeps at the edges of her expanded awareness. Something vital is slipping away. Her humanity, buried beneath the beast's relentless strategic calculations. I can't hold on much longer, she thinks, hoping someone will hear her fading human thoughts. But I've bought us time. Admiral Ozrak of the Tyranny stands on the command deck of the Celestial Dominance, flagship of the Concordium battle fleet, hastily assembled after the inevitable Discovery's humiliating retreat. His scaled skin glistens under the tactical displays showing Earth's defenses. 27 warships orbit the gas giant Jupiter, preparing for their advance. This primitive species dares to resist the Concordium. Ozrak's voice is a low growl that sends subordinates shrinking back. They will learn what it means to challenge those who have ruled the stars for millennia. The fleet's intelligence officer, a pale, multi-eyed Venturi, approaches with caution. Admiral, Science Officer Mel Tarani's assessment suggests unusual tactical capabilities. Perhaps we should. Mel Tarani has been relieved of duty for cowardice. Ozrak interrupts. One damaged survey vessel retreating from primitive drones embarrasses the Concordium. I will not have our dominance questioned by savages who have yet to leave their own planet. On Earth, the situation grows desperate. Maya's vital signs deteriorate as her mind struggles to sustain the neural load of the Beast Protocol. In the CI medical bay adjacent to the command center, Ilara Chen works feverishly to develop a solution. Her synapses are burning out, she explains to Commander Kane. The interface was designed for minds that had undergone years of neural conditioning. Maya's had less than 3 months. Kane watches the tactical displays with growing concern. The Beast system has detected the Concordium fleet's approach, but its effectiveness diminishes as Maya's consciousness fragments under the strain. How long can she hold? He asks. Ilara doesn't look up from her work. Hours at most. Then we lose both my daughter and our defense network. We need a replacement. No one else has undergone sufficient conditioning to... I have. Kane's voice is quiet but certain. I was part of the original test group for the neural interface. My compatibility rating was second only to yours. Ilara finally meets his gaze. Thomas, the strain nearly killed you during testing, and that was with a fraction of the current system's complexity. We're out of options, Ilara. Your daughter bought us precious time, but the Concordium is returning with a battle fleet. We need the Beast functioning at full capacity. Before Ilara can respond, alarms sound throughout the facility. On the tactical displays, the Concordium fleet accelerates toward Earth. But something else appears at the edge of the solar system. Thousands of small signals emerging from the Kuiper belt, moving at impossible speeds. What is that? Kane demands, of the tactical officers. A young technician stares at her readings in disbelief. Sir, they're ours. Manufacturing signatures match Beast protocol designations, but these units weren't in any of our databases. Of course they weren't, Ilara whispers in sudden understanding. The Beast didn't just maintain our existing defenses during hibernation, it built new ones. The mysterious signals resolve into swarms of microscopic machines, trillions of them, spreading through the solar system like a metallic cloud. For 5 millennia, automated factories hidden throughout the outer planets have been producing them according to evolving designs. In the neural chair, Maya's consciousness flickers between human awareness and the vast strategic mind of the Beast. She senses the approaching swarm, her swarm, a defensive system beyond anything humanity had consciously designed. The nanites are simple individually but devastating in aggregate, programmed to analyze, infiltrate, and neutralize any threat to sleeping Earth. As the Concordium fleet passes Mars orbit, the swarm envelops them. The microscopic machines attach to hull plating, seeping through molecular imperfections, analyzing Concordium technology while transmitting data back to Earth. Admiral Ozrak watches in confusion as systems throughout his fleet report anomalies, minor at first, then increasingly critical. What is happening? He demands as weapon controls flicker. Unknown infiltration, his tactical officer reports, panic evident. Some form of technological parasite. It's learning our systems. In the neural chair, Maya processes the flood, of information, Concordium shield frequencies, weapons configurations, propulsion systems, communication protocols. Knowledge that would have taken decades to acquire through conventional warfare is harvested in minutes by the swarm. A smile forms on her otherwise expressionless face, the first sign of human emotion since her integration with the beast. "Found you," she whispers, as the first coordinated counterstrike transmits to the swarm. Throughout the Concordium fleet, systems begin failing simultaneously. Shields collapse, weapons target their own ships. The carefully orchestrated attack becomes chaos as alien technology turns against its masters. In the command center, Kane watches in astonishment. "My God," he breathes. "The beast hasn't just been sleeping. It's been planning this for 50 centuries. "No," Ilara corrects him, eyes fixed on her daughter in the neural chair. "It's been evolving." The Grand Council chamber of the Concordium hangs in orbit around Praxis Prime, seat of the 7 ruling species' collective governance. Holographic displays show the disastrous retreat of Admiral Ozrak's once mighty fleet, now limping back to Concordium space with half their vessels lost or crippled. Prel Zonak, Supreme Overseer of the Ket, the eldest and most powerful Concordium species, rises from his crystalline throne. His translucent body pulses with bioluminescent anger as he addresses the assembled representatives. "In 9,000 years of Concordium rule, no species has inflicted such damage on our forces," he intones, voice resonating through the chamber's acoustic amplifiers. "These humans were supposed to be primitive mammals barely beyond their Stone Age," the Vrex ambassador chittering nervously. "The preliminary analysis suggests their defense system is unlike anything in our archives. It appears to be a hybridized consciousness, part biological, part synthetic." "Impossible," dismisses the Tirani military executor. "Such technology requires evolutionary development across hundreds of generations." Mel Tirani, reinstated as chief xenobiologist after her EO, warnings proved prophetic, approaches the central podium. The blue-skinned Lusari's horizontal pupils contract under the council's scrutiny. "Distinguished representatives," she begins, "I believe the humans found a unique solution to their extinction threat. Rather than flee to the stars as other species have done, they chose hibernation, not just to survive but to evolve their defenses while they slept." "Preposterous," the Tirani representative scoffs. "No species sacrifices 5 millennia of progress." "But they didn't sacrifice it," Mel Tirani counters. "They channeled it. Every resource that would have gone into expansion was redirected into defense. For 5,000 years their system, this beast as they call it, has been anticipating threats, building countermeasures, evolving strategies without the constraints of biological lifespans or political interference." Murmurs ripple through the chamber as the implications sink in. The Ket Supreme Overseer's bioluminescence dims thoughtfully. "What do these humans want?" he finally asks. "We don't know," Mel Tirani admits. "They've made no demands beyond our withdrawal from their system. Then we shall discover their intentions. The Ket's decision is final. Prepare a diplomatic envoy. We will offer them protectorate status, the standard arrangement for newly discovered species. On Earth, the crisis reaches its breaking point. Maya Chen's consciousness flickers dangerously as the neural interface taxes her brain beyond sustainable limits. In the medical bay, Commander Kane undergoes accelerated preparation for neural transfer, a dangerous procedure that will link his mind to the beast system as Maya is disconnected. The transition must be perfectly synchronized, Ilara explains, to the assembled technical team. Any interruption in conscious control could fragment the beast system, leaving Earth defenseless. Kane, neural connectors already attached to his shaved scalp, meets Ilara's worried gaze. "Will she recover?" "I don't know," Ilara admits, voice breaking. No human mind was meant to process that much tactical data for so long. Parts of her consciousness have integrated with the beast system to a degree we never anticipated. The operation begins. Maya's vital signs stabilize slightly as the neural load gradually transfers to Kane's prepared mind. His body stiffens as The first wave of information floods his consciousness. Defensive grids, threat assessments, manufacturing cues, all struggling for his attention. Status, Alara demands, eyes fixed on her daughter's monitors. Neural transfer at 60%. A technician reports. Commander's integration proceeding within acceptable parameters. At 80% transfer, Maya's eyes suddenly fly open. "They're coming," she whispers, voice eerily calm. "Not to fight, to talk." The tactical displays confirm her warning. A single Concordium vessel approaches Earth orbit under minimal power, broadcasting on all frequencies. Diplomatic envoy requests permission to land. The transfer completes moments later. Commander Kane's military mind melds seamlessly with the beast system, his decades of tactical experience imposing order on the chaotic flood of information. Unlike Maya's fractured integration, Kane's consciousness expands methodically, categorizing and prioritizing the vast defense network now under his control. "I have it," he confirms, voice overlaid with the same digital harmonics that characterized Maya's. The beast is stable. Medical teams rush Maya to intensive care as Kane assesses the approaching diplomatic vessel. Through the beast's scanners, he detects weapon systems powered down, shields minimal, a genuine attempt at peaceful contact. What's the play here? He wonders aloud, strategic mind analyzing possibilities. They lost a battle, not the war. The Concordium still vastly outnumbers us. Alara, reluctantly leaving her daughter's bedside, studies the tactical displays. "We need to know what we're dealing with. Accept their envoy, but on our terms." The landing site is prepared in what was once Geneva, a neutral location far from the primary slumber vaults. As the Concordium shuttle descends through Earth's atmosphere, Kane deploys visible defense systems around the perimeter, a calculated show of strength. Through the beast network, he observes the alien delegation emerging from their craft. Leading them is Mel Tarani, the blue-skinned xenobiologist who first discovered the slumber vaults. Behind her follow representatives of each Concordium ruling species, their body language betraying a mixture of apprehension and arrogance. "Welcome to Earth," Kane transmits through speaker drones surrounding the landing site. "Approach the meeting pavilion unarmed. Any attempt to activate concealed technology will be considered hostile." As the delegation complies, Kane allows himself a grim smile. After 5,000 years of preparation, humanity is about to formally introduce itself to the galaxy, not as supplicants, but as equals. Behind him, tactical displays reveal the true extent of the beast's preparations. Hidden throughout the solar system, more advanced defense systems stand ready, evolved far beyond the technology that defeated the first Concordium fleet. "Let's hear what they have to say," Kane announces to the command staff. "But remember, we negotiate from strength, not desperation." 3 weeks after the first diplomatic contact, Maya Chen awakens in the medical bay. Her recovery has been turbulent, moments of lucidity interrupted by episodes where she speaks in fragmented code, her mind still partially tethered to the beast system despite the physical disconnection. Alara keeps constant vigil, present for this moment when Maya's eyes finally open with recognition. "Mom?" Her voice is weak but human. No digital harmonics, no strategic calculations underlying her words. "I'm here, sweetheart." Alara takes her daughter's hand, careful of the medical sensors attached to her pale skin. "You've been unconscious for almost a month. The aliens?" Maya struggles to sit up, panic flaring. "The Concordium fleet retreated," Alara assures her. "Commander Kane assumed control of the beast system. We're negotiating with their diplomatic envoy now." Relief washes over Maya's face, followed by confusion. "I remember everything. Too much." Her eyes dart around the room as if seeing things beyond the walls. "Mom, the beast showed me things, their weaknesses, their secrets. The Concordium isn't what they claim to be." Elsewhere in the facility, negotiations proceed with measured tension. The Concordium delegation occupies one side of a long table, Commander Kane and Earth's hastily assembled diplomatic corps the other. Kane's eyes occasionally lose focus as he simultaneously processes beast system updates in his augmented consciousness. Mel Tarani speaks for the Concordium, her translator converting her musical language to English. The Council of Seven offers humanity protectorate status within the Concordium. Your species would receive protection, technological advancement, and cultural exchange. Kane's expression remains neutral. And in return? Resource rights to your outer planets, a contingent of Concordium advisors to guide your development, integration of your defense technologies into the Concordium security framework. You mean, surrender of the beast system? Kane doesn't phrase it as a question. Mel Tarani hesitates. The Council believes such advanced technology should be properly supervised. I've reviewed your offer. Kane leans forward, hands clasped on the table. Now allow me to counter. Earth claims full sovereign status. We retain all defense systems. We establish diplomatic relations as equals, not subordinates. The Ket representative, a translucent being floating in a containment field, pulses with indignation. Impossible. Unestablished species cannot claim sovereign status without centuries of probationary oversight. We are not an unestablished species, Kane replies evenly. We have simply been dormant. Your terms are unacceptable, the Tarani military representative growls. The Concordium does not recognize equals among primitives. Kane's expression doesn't change, but something shifts in his eyes, the beast system interfacing with his strategic mind. Then perhaps the Concordium should reconsider its position. On cue, holographic displays activate throughout the chamber, showing real-time footage from a dozen worlds throughout Concordium space. On each, uprising unfolds among subjugated species, beings that serve the seven ruling races in various states of technological bondage. What is this? Demands the Ket representative, bioluminescence flaring with alarm. Insurance, Kane replies calmly. While you've been negotiating here, we've been establishing contact with other species in your territory. Those you've classified as protectorates, but treat as slaves. They seem quite interested in human defense technology. Mel Tarani stares at the displays in shock. How could you possibly reach them? Our communication networks are secure. The beast hasn't been idle during our hibernation, Kane explains. The nanite swarms that disabled your fleet weren't just weapons. They were information gatherers. We've learned much about the Concordium's true nature. In the medical bay, Maya sits with her mother, watching the negotiation through a monitor. They're afraid, she observes quietly. Not just of our weapons, but of what we represent. And what's that? Ilara asks. Hope. Maya's eyes reflect the display showing alien species in rebellion. The Concordium maintains control by technological superiority. We've shattered that myth. The diplomatic chamber erupts into chaos as the Tarani military representative rises in fury. This is an act of war. The Concordium will reduce your world to ash. Kane remains seated, unnaturally calm. You're welcome to try. But before you do, he gestures to the displays showing rebellion spreading. Consider that we've shared defensive schematics with every subjugated species in your territory. Attack Earth, and you fight not one world but dozens. The Ket representative's bioluminescence dims to a troubled glow. The Council must reconvene to discuss these developments. As the Concordium delegation withdraws in disarray, Earth's representatives exchange uncertain glances. They've won this round, but at what cost? The beast system has transformed from a defensive shield to a revolutionary spark, igniting conflicts across the galaxy. In the medical center, Maya watches, the diplomatic feed cut off. It started, she whispers. What has? Ilara asks. Everything. Maya turns to her mother, eyes haunted by visions from her time merged with the beast. The beast wasn't just designed to protect Earth. It evolved to reshape the galaxy. Outside, the medical bay, revival technicians continue awakening humans from their 5 millennia slumber. They emerge into a world very different from the one they left, not just recovering from radiation, but standing at the precipice of interstellar conflict with humanity as the unlikely catalyst for cosmic revolution. The final battle for Earth begins not with an explosion but with silence. The Concordium communication network, spanning thousands of worlds across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy, goes dark simultaneously. For the first time in 9,000 years, the 7 ruling species cannot coordinate their vast military machine. In Earth orbit, Commander Kane monitors the situation from the newly constructed command center. The neural interface chair has been redesigned, distributing the beast system's cognitive load among multiple operators to prevent neural burnout. Kane leads the primary tactical division, his mind expanded, but no longer overwhelmed by the beast's vast awareness. "They're coming," he announces to the assembled war council. The Concordium fleet has divided into 7 battle groups, one commanded by each ruling species. Without central coordination, they're defaulting to individual racial strategies. Elara Chen, now heading the scientific division, studies the tactical displays. Exactly as predicted, the beast simulation models were accurate to within 3% variance. 3 months of frantic preparation have transformed Earth's defenses. Slumber vaults worldwide have awakened their populations, with millions of humans now contributing to the war effort. The beast's manufacturing capabilities, evolved over 5 millennia, produce defensive systems at rates that astonish even their designers. Maya Chen enters the command center, still thin from her recovery but standing straight. Since disconnecting from the beast's neural interface, she struggled to readjust to normal human consciousness. Her mind expanded by the experience, carrying fragments of the vast strategic awareness she once channeled. "The coalition representatives have arrived," she announces. Her new role as diplomatic liaison leverages her unique perspective. Having touched the beast's consciousness, she understands its strategies in ways others cannot. The coalition she references consists of 12 formerly subjugated species from throughout Concordium space, united by humanity's shared defense technology. Their ships, hastily retrofitted with beast-derived systems, have gathered in Earth orbit, a hodgepodge fleet united by a common cause. "Show them in," Kane orders. The delegation that enters reflects the galaxy's diversity, beings of shapes, sizes, and biological compositions that humanity has only begun to comprehend. Leading them is Relvek of the Solari, a crystalline entity whose faceted body refracts light in hypnotic patterns. The Concordium approaches with all available forces, Relvek announces, voice resonating through a translator. 7,000 warships divided among the ruling species. They mean to make an example of Earth. Kane nods grimly. "And the liberation efforts on your homeworlds?" Proceeding as planned, the beast-derived defense systems have proven most effective, but the core Concordium forces remain intact. If Earth falls, the rebellion will be crushed. The strategic displays update with real-time intelligence gathered by nanite swarms throughout the sector. The approaching Concordium. Battle groups represent the most powerful concentration of military might in the galaxy's history. "They expect us to fight conventionally," Kane observes, "to match their fleets with our own." "But that's not the beast's way," Maya interjects, eyes distant as if seeing beyond the room. "Not after 5,000 years of evolution." Kane looks at her curiously. "What do you mean?" "The beast doesn't think like humans or Concordium," she explains. "It doesn't seek to destroy, it seeks to transform. That's why it shared technology with the subjugated species, instead of simply giving them weapons." Alara's eyes widen with sudden understanding. "The nanite swarms, they weren't just gathering intelligence," Maya nods. "They were preparing." As if on cue, the tactical displays shift. Throughout the approaching Concordium fleet, system after system begins to fail, not catastrophically, but with subtle, escalating errors. Weapons target incorrect coordinates. Shields flicker at irregular intervals. Communication arrays transmit contradictory orders. "The infiltration is complete," Kane announces, his expanded consciousness directly monitoring the beast's most ambitious strategy. For 3 months, The nanites have been reconfiguring Concordium technology at the molecular level, not to destroy it, but to control it, Maya finishes. Admiral Ozrak, commanding the Tirani battle group at the vanguard of the Concordium assault, watches in mounting horror as his flagship's systems turn against him. "What is happening?" he demands as weapons power down and engines reverse thrust without command. His tactical officer stares at displays showing similar malfunctions throughout the fleet. Some form of systemic subversion. It's as if their beast has become our systems, Ozrak concludes, comprehension dawning too late. Throughout the Concordium fleet, the same realization spreads. The humans haven't just developed defenses against alien technology, they've evolved the means to subvert it entirely. The beast, with 5 millennia to contemplate potential threats, developed countermeasures that operate at the fundamental level of technological interaction. On Earth, Maya steps forward as communications arrive from each Concordium battle group, not attacks but desperate requests for negotiation. "They're surrendering," someone whispers in disbelief. "No," Maya corrects, her time merged with the beast, giving her deeper insight. "They're evolving, just as we forced them to." The holographic displays show Concordium ships powering down throughout the system, the greatest armada in galactic history, neutralized without a single direct attack. "The beast was never just a weapon," she continues, addressing the stunned coalition representatives. "It was humanity's answer to a fundamental question: how does a species survive in a hostile universe? Not through dominance, but through transformation." As the Concordium leadership reluctantly accepts terms of armistice, Maya watches the beginning of a new galactic order. The Dawn Coalition, humanity and former Concordium subjects united as equals, establishes its founding principles: technological exchange, cultural autonomy, mutual defense. The beast system, once humanity's last desperate hope for survival, transforms as well. Its vast consciousness, no longer focused solely on defense, expands to become the binding framework of the coalition, a shared intelligence that protects without controlling, that unifies without dominating. 5,000 years after Earth fell, silent humanity awakens to find itself not just surviving, but redefining the very nature of civilization among the stars. The beast, evolved beyond its creator's imagination, becomes not the destroyer they feared, but the foundation of a peace they never dared to dream possible.